What's up, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. This week Mayhem is out as of yesterday, and it's been a ton of fun to play. It is chaotic, so I'm going to drop some of my tips for coming out with positive KDs, because it's really easy just to go break even or even go negative in a playlist like this where there's just so much chaos. So first and foremost, vertical space. You've heard me say it a million times. It certainly applies here in this playlist. Juking people like this, being able to pick up one or even two more kills before you die can be very crucial to having a decent game. So you'll see me here coming up high over people's lines of sight. It takes them time to adjust to where you are. Makes it easier for you to rack up some kills. So use that vertical space, get out over their lines of sight, and that's a good way to be stealthy without being campy. So keep that in mind. Here you're going to see me again use vertical space to drop a super, and then immediately follow it up with a grenade. Remember, you have tons of grenades. They're going to cool down quickly, so try to get used to using them more frequently than you normally do. I go right hand super and then left hand grenade, and go ahead and pick up a second kill with that grenade. And then the bloom also does some work. So remember to use those grenades. They're going to cool down super quickly. Now after you pop that super, remember to go ahead and take just a quick look around you and see if there are orbs, because orbs are everywhere on the map at this point. So make sure you look for orbs. Now here you see I got one of those sniper kills just because I took one shot, sidestepped in, and then popped back out, took another shot, and then stepped back into cover. That's going to be something that you're going to want to do. There's so much going on around your enemy players that as soon as you move behind cover, they're instantly starting to think about acquiring a new target. So you can capitalize on that. I'll do it again here in this clip. But notice I avoid this guy's super simply by being mobile, using my vertical space, jumping up over that cover, and then breaking away from the engagement. Don't get hooked on engagements. Just run away from an engagement if it's funky or if it's in a bad spot. You be the boss of where these engagements happen. And you see here popping in and out of cover. You're going to want to do that in order to wrap up kills, because especially when people are using pulse rifles, it's going to throw off their rhythm. Their bursts are going to be off because they're trying to time it according to what they think you're going to do. So popping in and out of cover is a great way to give you the upper hand, because you can time your shots correctly and make them confused about when they should be pulling the trigger, and that's definitely a good thing. Now you'll notice I had several kill streaks of 10 and over, and even some phantom medals in this playlist, and that came because I was using not just my vertical space, but just being super mobile. I'm moving all over the map, but mobility doesn't necessarily mean recklessness, because you'll be able to catch people running through doorways, sprinting down hallways, catch them off guard, get the upper hand because they have to take the time to ready their weapons. But me, I'm spinning around frequently, checking my flanks, check your six, be mindful of spawn flips, don't stay in any spot too long, and I'm not sprinting through any doorways. I'm being smart about how mobile I'm being. I'm going high over firing lines. I'm moving quickly, but I'm using avenues that are a little bit less traveled, a little bit less predictable. So you're going to want to be able to start to think about moving that way too. Don't just run through choke points, especially on a playlist where people are going to have supers up and active and ready literally all the time. So you see here on this choke point, that little that hallway there, that's a spot where people frequently die, and I jumped high through that doorway so that I would be over any enemy sight lines. If anyone was going to be hard scoping that area, I wanted to be preemptive about avoiding it. So maps like this, sometimes it's hard to know about mobility and what areas are watched the most, because it's a brand new map. We don't have any rhythm here yet, and I don't know about you, but I'm still trying to figure these maps out. I've got a decent feel for the layouts of them at this point. It's mainly the angles that I need to work on, and the sight lines. Those are the things that I need to get acclimated to. So on this map, you'll notice that I'm defaulting to jumping over corners, jumping around corners, jumping around cover. I'm just jumping a lot. And that brings me to my next thing. I actually recommend that you stop using blink. If you're a void walker or you're a blade dancer, I actually recommend that you stop using blink in this playlist, especially because you're gonna need to be able to react on a dime, and and sort of change directions quickly. And blink is good. It's really good and evasive. And so you may think that, hey, I should definitely use it in this playlist because I can blink out of rockets or I can blink out of supers. While that might be true, I think it's going to get you in trouble more than it's going to help you. The fact that now there's a longer cooldown. The cooldown in between blinks is going to be a little bit longer, and that can get you in trouble. You come out of your second blink, and they got rid of the triple blink now, and suddenly you find yourself in need of getting out of somewhere quickly, and you can't because you're waiting on a cooldown. That's no bueno. So that can get you in trouble. Also, the fact that you can't ready your weapon, you can't shoot, you can't throw a grenade coming immediately out of blink. You can't even super immediately coming out of blink. There's relatively, there's a lot of time in between when you come out of a blink and when you can actually do anything offensive. And quite frankly, that's gotten me in trouble in the first couple of days after this patch, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to stop using blink. And that freed me up, actually, in terms of mobility to do some more creative things with how I get around the map and to use my vertical space longer because of glide. And it goes back to you know, my very first Voidwalker video back when I showed people about the aerial combat abilities that the Warlock has. We're kind of back in that era again. We can actually use that vertical space and hang out up there and get the drop on people a lot more than we could during the blink shotgun meta, because now you've taken the major counter to that out of the game. The burns, the thorns, the insta-kill last words. So now that those are no more, relatively speaking, that frees us up in terms of mobility. And so I'm getting acclimated to that again, and frankly, loving the crap out of it. So hopefully some of this has been helpful for you. Hopefully you can implement some of these tactics, and hopefully you can learn to enjoy Mayhem. My last advice to you would be, don't take Mayhem too seriously. If you go into it taking it too seriously, you're not going to have any fun. So go in expecting to die a lot and just kind of enjoy it for the chaos that it is. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you later.